Hey y'all, it's Katie.
And Jared again.
We're so glad you're back. We've got a brand new episode of Boxer the Movie podcast for you.
And if you don't know, Boxer is a feature film written, directed, and starring my co-host, Miss Kitty Mack.
If you don't know, Jared is not only my podcast co-host, he's one of the producers of the film.
And every week, we dig into what it's like working in Hollywood as an indie filmmaker. And
we talk to our amazing cast and crew about their journey in the film industry.
And in this episode, we sit down and talk with Genesis Val Leon. Oh shit! How do you say?
It makes you nervous. It's cool. It's Val Leon. It's fine. You
that's got right. I said it with that right. With a good little accent.
Mm-hmm. Listen, Val Leon.
Because you know I ain't take Spanish in high school, so Val Leon.
Thank you. That's right. So Genesis is one of the stars of Boxer. She is a talented singer, actress, and she is the co-host of Chit Chat with My Girls with Moi, another K-Nap production.
Now get ready because this is going to be a good one. Welcome y'all to Boxer the Movie podcast.
So let's get into what is so funny because I'm the only human that still dabs, and I probably dab.
Because you went here, that was a dab because that looked like right, it looked like a combination of both of them, and I'm just like,
you're a hater. It's fine.
I hope Shakisha cut that out because Elle's gonna be upset.
You know what? She's always upset every time I do a new dance or an old dance. She'd be like, "That's not how it goes." Right. Like, all right, cool. Anyway, let's talk about your week, Jared. You got any highlights from this past week since the last time we spoke, probably like 10 minutes ago? But yeah.
We released Boxer on the Street.
Ooh.
So if y'all haven't seen it, go to our YouTube channel. First episode of Boxer on the Street is out. Actually, by the time you see this, we should have another episode. We should have 2 episodes out. So by the time you listen to this podcast, we should have another episode of Boxer on the Street out.
Actually, it comes out on Saturdays. So it'll be right after this. Right.
Actually,
okay,
comes out
so
2 times a week. So we'll have another one out. By the time you listen to this, we'll have another one out. And yeah. But anyway,
cool.
Let's talk about Boxer on the Street a little bit. What exactly is it? What are we doing?
Boxer on the Street.
Some of our experiences that we've had interviewing people on the streets of New York.
It was a good, for the most part, it was a good time. I don't think that we had any bad experience. I think that we had very interesting experiences with people on these New York City streets.
Yeah, no bad experiences, but it's always interesting out here.
Always interesting. So what we did was we walked up to random people. We had our producers, or the whole team. We had Shakisha with us. It was me, Jared, Sabine, and Shakisha would be the eye contact. You know what I'm saying? She'd be looking at the random people on the streets of New York City. As soon as she make that eye contact, as soon as they look at her a little long, she just approach him. She's on it, like right on right. Hey, can we talk? She's mad like, it was just it's such a performance with her. But anyway, so she was the one that reeled everyone in. He's texting us right now, like, I can fucking hear you, right?
But yeah, she's the one that gets people to stop on the streets in New York, because I know how hard it is to just get somebody to just randomly stop and talk to somebody random, especially when you got a camera in your hand.
Right. So yeah, right. But some people were sports. So all we did was, we kept it the theme was centered around topics in Boxer. We would ask people what their favorites, if they did any sports, if not what their favorite sports or what their favorite sports movies or what their favorite moments from the movies were. We asked them about, mental health and how important it was to them and things that they did to maintain sanity in this crazy world. So, it was a good time for me. I don't know about y'all, but I had some good times and good conversations, honey.
Yeah, so y'all make sure y'all check that out on our YouTube channel. Now, Katie.
Yes.
Got something for you.
Oh God.
A couple questions for you, right?
Oh boy.
We're just gonna get to know you a little bit better.
You want to get to know me more because every day you're like, Katie, I just spoke to you. Oh my God, I just saw you.
I'm saying for the people, I'm giving the people what they want.
How you know what the people want? Go ahead, give it to me.
how did you become a writer? Yeah, I know everybody knows you're an actor and that's how you started, but what made you want to get into writing? Or was that something that you've always done and just have kind of like found yourself like gravitating towards that field?
Actually, I was a writer first. I started writing
Oh,
probably when I was about 6, 7.
oh
I was very
wow.
young, and I just used to write stories, like little short stories. I used to make up these stories. I don't even know what they was about, but those stories kind of graduated to, as I got older, turned into a teenager. We would sit on the stoop back in Queens, and they'd be like, "Yo, Katie, what you got for us tonight? Tell us a story." So I had story time popping way, 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 way back. And, my imagination was always very, very colorful, very like expansive, very in depth. So I always loved writing. Writing for me was a source of comfort and getting away from the tumultuous times of being a preteen and going into your early teenage years, because that's stressful. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Yeah, yeah,
um
yeah.
yeah, so that was my kind of getaway, and that kind of
Okay.
turned into the acting because I could physically get away from, reality. But yeah,
Yeah. So that turned into the acting,
yeah.
and now that turned into producing.
Ugh.
So what's it like to be an actress turned producer?
Let me tell you something. I hate producing. Okay. Okay. I fucking hate it. Like, I just let me create. The producing part is I turned into a producer because I had to. When I started making my own content, you got
Mm-hmm.
to figure it out. You got to put all the pieces together, and I did it because I out of necessity. Now, having a team of producers is one of God's greatest gifts to me, because I just can't wait till I get to the point, or we all get to the point where y'all ain't got to talk to me about nothing. It's like, let me talk to Austin, and that's it. Like, I will see y'all later on
Right.
all
We'll
the.
handle everything else on the back end. Just get you to sign off on it.
I can't wait till I get to that level, but I know that's not going to be a long time. And plus, there's a part of me that always wants to make sure everything is running the way. Not that I'm a micromanager, but I need to be assured that everything is being taken care of. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess I always have it in me.
So do you think it's more of an asset more than it is a challenge to be a producer?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because, like, it's
Okay.
the more you
Yep.
know, being a lot of people, if you're an actor, a lot of people that aren't actors don't realize that you're an actor, but then there's the whole other side. There's the business of acting. And if you don't
Mm-hmm.
know and be able to master the two, you're just going to be a talented actor, just
Right.
out there, just trying to book roles. So it's important. And I think it's an asset to any actor or writer that has ever had to produce their own work. You know a lot more than the average actor. So it's definitely an asset. But you know what?
Yeah.
I can ask you the same question now. Let's flip this script real quick. You work as an actor and a producer, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you believe that, or do you feel that being a producer and an actor hinders you, or does it give you a better perspective?
Um, I'm gonna say both, and I'm gonna say both because not, and I don't want to say so much hinder because I feel like the perspective outweighs the ways that I think that it may hinder me. Um, I'll go with the hindrance first. I feel like because I am on the producer side, sometimes because time is time. And so sometimes it does take away from me focusing on being an actor.
Mm.
But during that time, I'm able to see, like you were saying, so much of the business and how just this business works that it naturally makes me a better actor and makes me easier to work with as an actor because I understand all of the behind the scenes things that are happening. And when I'm just acting, I'm able to just slip into my role, stay out the way, and do my job, and
Mhm.
not bother people about all these other things because I know that they're dealing with all this other the producing side of it, and a lot more before I even get on set, and even after I get off a set. So I love that it gives me that perspective, even in casting my own projects. As an actor, being on the other side of the casting table give you so much knowledge. You get to see yourself so much. You see the mistakes that other people are making, and you're like, okay, yeah, let me not do that in my next audition.
Right,
so
right.
the benefits definitely outweigh the hindrance.
This is a sidebar question. How many times have you been an actor already having producer experience and being on set with producers that have no idea what you're doing?
Man,
You know what? That's my answer right there, because it's so hard, because that pulls you out of actor mode.
it
You
does.
look
I mean,
at
I be wanting to be
everybody
like,
like,
y'all don't see this.
yeah,
Y'all see
nobody
this
sees
shit?
that. Nobody sees that cup right there on the coffee
Nobody
table.
sees that. Nobody. It's time, y'all. The time.
Right. So I just wanted to.
This light. You see the light. The light. Time is ticking. Let's go.
Nobody sees boom the shot.
Like,
cool.
just every so yeah. That's another thing. Like, as an actor, like, you start noticing like stuff like that is not even your job, and then you don't want to overstep your boundary and be like,
right.
Well, this is wrong. That's wrong. Like, you want to stay in your lane, and like you said, it can kind of take you out of your character a little bit.
The way you just close your eyes and I ask you that.
Yeah, because that should be stressful.
So, like, when did you want to be in entertainment? When did you know that you wanted
probably middle school. Probably middle school, I want to say.
Middle school?
Yeah.
You was young.
Yeah, like middle school. I think I did, my first thing was it wasn't even like a huge, like, it wasn't even like, I don't even know if I spoke. I may have spoke a couple words in this, but it was like this, it was a show. I don't even remember exactly what it was, but it was on stage, and I was like, yeah, I like this shit. Let's go. And from then on, I was like, I would, watch plays differently. I would watch TV differently and be like, yeah, I want to do that. That's dope. I can do that. I can do this. And once I turned 18, I was like, let's go. Let's get these headshots done. Let's get let's get this reel going. Let's get this role. And I want to tell you the first time. So I think I told you when we were out a couple of weeks ago that I had got my car towed. I drove to the city and I got my car towed. Now, if anybody knows, getting your car towed in the city is probably one of the most stressful things that you could go through.
Top
driving
5
in New York.
Top 5, easily.
Because what you got to do is you got to go all the way downtown to Chelsea Piers area. At least that's where it was. At least that's where it was at. I was parked up in Midtown, and the reason I'm telling this story is because it was my first time getting my first headshots. I drove out there. I parked. I'm 18. I don't really know like how to drive in New York or how to park in New York. So I parked my car. Like, the studio's right here. I'm gonna park right here.
It's an open spot.
You know what? I come out for my first headshot session and my car is gone.
I would have cried.
Stressed. I'm just like, where the fuck is my car at? And so I go into, I think it was like a corner store or whatever. And I'm like, did y'all see a car out here? And they're like, yeah, they told that. You're not supposed to park here. And I was like, oh, okay. So where do I go? And they told me, you got to go down to Chelsea Piers, yada, yada, yada. You get to Chelsea Piers, they charge you to get your car out. They pull up with your car. Your car got a ticket on it after you just paid $200-$300 to get the motherfucker out.
Oh my
God.
God.
Yeah, I don't even remember the whole reason I was telling that story, but I just felt like I needed to get that out.
Yo, first off, y'all just witnessed.
That was stressful. That was trauma.
He was triggered. I don't even know what I said to trigger him. Oh, we talk about when did you want to be in entertainment, and that triggered him to remember.
That triggered my whole memory lane of like how I even got here in my early days of trying to get into this business. I had my car towed, and it cost me about $400 or $500 to get it back.
You know what? So I'm gonna switch gears real fast and ask you, what is some advice that you would give an actor who wants to make the transition from in front of the camera to behind?
when you're on set, of course not while you're, in your scenes, but on set, everybody's sitting around. There's a lot of hurry up and wait. So while you're waiting, pay attention to what everybody else is doing on set. Pay attention to what the DP's doing. Pay attention to what the producers are doing. Pay attention to, you may even want to get into makeup one day. Pay attention to how makeup operates, the gaffers, everybody on set. That way you're able, if you do want to get into the other side behind the camera, you're able to see exactly what everybody's job is and how they operate in that job. And I think that because early on I did a lot of background work, and every time I did background work on these shows, like big production shows, like movies, TV shows that,
Same.
are on networks and all of that, I would always pay attention to what everybody else, not just the actors, but what everybody else on set was doing, the director, how the AD was interacting with the cast and crew, just paying attention to what everybody's job was. And I think that doing that helped me the most to, one, learn set etiquette, and then two, learn what everybody's job was on set and decide which one I wanted to jump into. So that's the biggest thing that helped me out, and what I would tell anybody trying to get into that side of the business.
That's so important. If you like a new actor, background work is such a teaching opportunity.
You
learn
watch
so
everybody.
much.
You learn these. You get to see these people that have been doing this for so long. Like, I got to see Deborah Messing do her thing on what was that show? Smash.
Maybe
way back when. What's her name? The girl from Ugly Betty.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I can't think of her name, but her,
Saw her do her thing, and all the people on Ugly Betty, Vanessa Williams, like there's so, like, being on those shows and seeing all these people that have, in some capacity, made it.
Yeah.
As an actor, I was able to study them, and people like Michael Shannon on Boardwalk. He was on Boardwalk Empire. Like, that was amazing. Wow. So, and then just paying attention to everybody else on the set and seeing what they do was really, really beneficial to my path. So.
Well, speaking of shows and movies, let's talk about Boxer.
Yes.
And all of the things.
And raising $111,000.
Well, we're at $108,000.
Okay, right. We at 108. We at 108 at this point. Yes, you're right.
It's slowly trickling in there. It's getting in there. So listen.
We still got work to do. Y'all. Okay. We got a lot of work to do. We got $108,000 worth of work to do. So y'all make sure
$108. I'm about to say, Lord.
Right. If it's 108, I'll give you the 108.
I'll put that on my credit card.
But yes, we still have $108,000 to go, y'all. Please donate what you can. Every single dollar counts. Every single dollar gets us closer to our goal, which motivates other people to get us closer to our goals. So y'all, please make sure that you share it with all your friends, all your family. Share it on your Instagram, your Twitter, your Facebook. If y'all see us out in the street doing boxing on the street, we'll give you some cards to give out to your people. DM us if you want us to I'll mail you some cards. If you got somebody that likes the physical more than social media, they're not on social media and they want something physical, I'll mail them to you. Just hit us up. But yeah, y'all, we appreciate all the support that we've gotten so far.
Let me tell you what some of your dollars is gonna get you. All right.
Yeah, please. Some of the perks that we got for y'all, because we got some things for y'all.
We got a lot of things going on. First and foremost, you're going to be providing jobs to dozens of people of color and this, casting crew of color in this business, because we need to create more opportunities for us, and it starts with us. So that's the first thing. But if we get into the perks, listen, this podcast here that you're listening to, you can get early access to this podcast, like a whole day early. That's one of the perks.
Usually comes out on Thursday, but our VIPs, Get it on Wednesday.
VIPs get it on Wednesday. What else, Jared? What else we got?
We got a master class with me and Katie. It's going to be a Zoom class. It's going to be recorded so that you can go back and watch it anytime you like. But it's a master class talking about working in Hollywood and how to produce a movie and how to write a film and any and every question that you could possibly have about how to create a feature film. We're going to be answering that question. Exclusive online on on set, right? We're going to have a Zoom. Actually, we're probably going to do it through our VIP page.
Yeah.
Where we're going to go live on our VIP page from set. So you'll actually be able to see us on set shooting Boxer. which is real. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. But we're willing to be open with y'all and let y'all see the process of how we're making this movie while we're making this movie. So that's another one. And then you can also come and be in. What happened?
No, I was just saying. I was like, check out the campaign so you can see how you can be a VIP to be getting those.
Right, because we have a secret VIP Instagram page that you can join and get all these, the podcast and the live set streaming. And then you can also get a chance to be an extra or even get a featured cameo role actually in Boxer. So y'all definitely go to Indiegogo, go to boxerthemovie.com, go to our crowdfunding page on Indiegogo and see how you can get some of these perks. We got t-shirts just like these.
These are lit.
Right?
I need like 7 days worth of them because I really wear this shirt like all the time and I'm washing.
Right, because I wear this like at least 3-4 times a week.
It's a good shirt.
Everything that we're doing. Yeah,
right.
So.
Just so y'all know. But, I mean, we're going to get to the reason why we're here today, or another one of the reasons why we are here. We have a special guest. They're all special, but we have special guests, Genesis Val Leon, on. And I'm just going to tell you a little bit about her right now. She hails from the Bronx, New York, the Bronx. Genesis is a curly-haired singer, actress, and commercial model. She has been featured on Good Morning America, Saturday Night Live, and The Today Show. She has also performed in Little Shop of Horrors, Hair, Footloose, American Idiot, and Plátanos and Collard Greens, just to name a few. And I've seen about 90% of those shows I just told you about that she was in. Yeah, just so you know. Genesis is currently on tour with Motown Forever, out in Atlantic City at the Bally's Resort. You need to get you some tickets. Look it up. The tickets are on Ticketmaster for sure. She also plays Powell Diaz in the feature film Boxer. Welcome to the podcast, Genesis Val Leon. Woo woo!
Hi, Genesis.
Hi, Jared.
How are you?
Oh my goodness.
I'm doing so much better now that I'm hanging out with y'all. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being here. We appreciate you coming through. What is this, episode 4, right?
This is episode 4. Yes.
Oh, you are our 4th guest.
I'm 4?
Oh God.
I
think you were busy. You matter of fact, you put your availability. So
matter of fact, y'all picked your own slot. So you put yourself at 4.
Yes, you did. She tried to come for us this so quickly too.
Right.
So cute.
It's early.
But it's okay. Okay, we're gonna get right into it because I already gave this fantastic bio of you being the powerhouse that you are. So anybody else who knows you knows that you're a powerhouse talent. You're an actress both on stage and on screen. You're a model and a singer. Tell us what gave or gives you the drive to do what you do.
I think being an artist is probably one of the greatest gifts that we can all have. One of the biggest blessings. Not trying to come for anyone else and their given talents, but we are legit therapists. And that to me, just knowing that whether I'm on stage or on film, for that 1 hour or 2 hour, whoever's viewing is not thinking about anything else in their life but what they're experiencing. And to me, that's one of the most powerful feelings and gifts that I've ever encountered. So that to me is just a simple drive, I
love that. Jared, you nodding. What are you thinking?
So since you're such a multi-hyphenate artist, did you ever feel like you had to choose a lane to stick to, or were you always comfortable with being, doing multiple things and navigating all those things at the same time?
Have I ever had to choose? I think for me, and I don't know if just the person that I am, like sometimes I do have to choose to focus on perfecting one at a time just because I never want to shortcome something. Naturally, for me, live performances has always been my favorite. Film for me has been like I'm always a student of film, you know what I'm saying? So for me, film has that special place where I'm always learning something new. I'm always down to do something when it comes to film. I'm willing to do free work when it comes to film because I'm just that student. Now, when it comes on stage, it's a whole different, you know what I'm saying? But um, having to choose, no, I find pleasure in all of them, but I do try to focus. If I'm doing like a theater production, I try to focus on that production just to give my 100%.
I love that. I think that's dope. So, you said that you would do like free film and stuff, but when it comes to stage, just run me my check. I absolutely feel you on that. So, like, you've acted in some really amazing musicals. You've done American Idiot, you've done Hair, Little Shop of Horrors, and that's only to name a few, guys. Is it difficult navigating between stage and screen?
Yeah.
Like, because, you'll hear often, oh, that's a stage actor, boy, when they come in for film audition. So is it difficult for you to kind of, play the line?
Yes. So I started with theater first, and I would never forget. And I even heard it from you, Katie. There'd be times where like Genesis, give me less, okay, not too big.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like on film is like, okay, this is a sad scene. You're like me as a theater performer, I'm like, ah, like showing all kinds of emotions, like the five senses, everything.
Right.
And we tend to forget like it's a very small capture of a camera versus a stage, you know what I'm saying, and trying to project. So of course it's been hard. I What I say is been it has affected the type of roles I get on when it comes to film. Yeah. Like I'm a big personality, like big hair, big mouth, like so it has kind of like put me in a point where there's times with Katie, I'll tell you like Katie, I want to play this kind of role, something more serious, you know what I'm saying? Something more tactical, something more that's more detailed versus physical, so it's something I'm working on.
I think it's good that we're always a work in progress, which brings up this next question. Tell us about a time that you may have second guessed yourself in the industry, and how did you overcome that?
I think naturally with auditioning, I don't like auditioning. People are like, oh, just audition and leave it in the door. How? Like that day, girl, I've tried to create all kinds of like routines. Like, okay, when I audition, I'm gonna treat myself out after, have a nice lunch, meet up with friends to kind of like just forget about it. But like it's so hard not to like worry like crap, like did I do this wrong, or could I have read that line better. And the second doubting does start to happen within that wait process. There was a show that I auditioned for, and the producer was like, you'll hear from us in the next week or so. When I tell you I was checking my emails every single second of the day,
Mm.
that week or so, when the end of that week entered into the second week, I was like I remember thinking, why not me?
Mhm.
Why am I not good enough? I could have done this better. Long story short, I got the gig, but it's just so normal. Like
Of
we are our
course.
biggest critic. Like we are so like we're like, yeah, we killed that audition. I did that. And then like 3 days later, we don't hear back and we're like, oh my gosh, like I gotta go take another class because I sucked, you know what I'm saying? So it's just something that comes with the craft.
Well, I'm glad that you stuck with it because I think you're amazing. And I'll get off my soapbox.
All right, so I got a question. Now, Katie knows that I'm a big fan of this project. But I do want to talk about your work with Katie. I know you've done, you guys have your show that you're doing right now. And we done another favorite of mine. I don't know if you heard, but I told Katie this is the one that got me like, oh, I'm a K-Mac fan.
Oh boy, here we go.
So we're gonna start with Breakpoint. I don't know if you know, but I told Katie that you were like one of my favorite characters, and this was before I knew you. I don't know if you remember when I found out it was you. I was like, oh shit, that's you. Oh, it is you. Because I didn't meet you until what, 2 years ago, something like that. And that was, when was that? What year did y'all do that project?
Long time ago.
Yeah, long time.
At least 4 or 5 years ago, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So what was it like playing a character like Kara?
I actually told Katie, I was like, I want to play this type of character. Remember that conversation?
Mhm.
So there was a moment when I like with film when I actually had a manager at that time. Didn't last very long, because he would always book me for like the exotic chick, the stripper, the side chick, and yeah, it got to the point where I was like, I want to be taken seriously as an like a film actress, like a screen actress. And I remember having that conversation with Katie. I'm like, I want to play someone that has some sort of addiction, like something dark. And it was probably the most fun I've had in a long time. It was hilarious because usually whenever I'm learning lines, this is like a full production, like the whole family, all of my friends are involved. And I remember being in my room at that time. I was living with my parents. I had just moved back home, and I remember like reading these lines in my mirror, like full out in emotion, everything, and like my mom and dad like knocking on the door, like, "Oh, you good?" Um, it was it was a really good production. I think Katie only took 2 shots. We did 2 of them, 2 takes.
Y'all did 2 takes of that?
It was it was 2 takes for some reason, but the first one I remember was so good. Um,
Wow.
Again, also my co-star Lamar was amazing. He did grab my jaw. It's a little too hard sometimes, but that's how into it we were, and it was so good. And I can't wait to have the chance again to like play, like to just portray a character, complex character. Hopefully, I can graduate from the young high school that character that I'm always cast for like a mom or so that was a good one, Katie. That was a good one.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah.
That's all Jared talks about is Breakpoint. Yo, Breakpoint. I'm
right.
like,
You got to do Breakpoint. I cannot wait to watch it again. By the time y'all will hear this on Thursday, the 22nd, July 22nd, but Friday, July 23rd, you can come and see Breakpoint and see exactly what I'm talking about. How many episodes you showing, Katie? 2?
I'm showing only.
Are we showing Genesis episode? Please.
Yeah, she's the first episode. Yes.
Okay, perfect. That's it. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I gotta see what Jared is doing.
Jared, thank you.
He's just I never knew he was so fascinated by that project until recently. And I'm like, whoa, where's this coming from? Because I'm like so far removed from it. I'm like, yo, we did that years ago. He's like, I don't care. You need to show this. And I'm like, okay.
I was so mad that it didn't come back. Like I was just waiting, and I'm just like, Breakpoint. She came out with another one. I was like, okay, but Breakpoint.
Yeah, that was a good one. And I remember at Katie's mom's house, we were like, it was such a mess in that room. I felt so bad, but it was so.
That's why we had to get out of there. That's why the first take was good. The second was the safety. My mom was asking Jen and Lamar if they wanted to drink like a shot of white Henny. I'm like, yo, mom, we're working. We're working.
But it did help.
It was so raw.
It did help because remember, I didn't have.
Wait, so I took the shot.
Yes.
It's lit.
Oh yeah, we did. But remember, we didn't have a rehearsal.
Right.
We didn't have a rehearsal. I've never worked with Lamar, so it was literally like it helped like break that line of like, okay, let's get this done. So shout out to Katie's mom for that shot because I was a little nervous.
Wow.
You can have a little drink, Katie. Go sit down. This is why I'm not shooting at your house ever again because you don't know how to act. Anyway,
but it worked out. Look at what she did.
Really good.
It did.
You finished fanboy.
I'm done here. I'm done.
You sure?
For now. We might bring it back around the block
Yeah,
Right.
okay.
Go ahead,
So,
Katie. Y'all
so
got a
Jen,
show, right?
since you know what, since he's going on and on about Breakpoint, how did you? I know that you mentioned that you used to rehearse your lines of Kara in the mirror. Was there anything else that you did to help you prepare for that role? And for those who don't know, you'll have to tune in tomorrow, July 23rd, to see it. But Jen plays an addict, so you know it was the first role that she's ever really played something like this. And I'm just curious if there's, you know, certain things that you did to prepare for her.
Absolutely. I watched a couple of films. I watched a lot of Jada.
Mm.
Breath. I hung out 149 a couple of times. No, I did a lot of like honestly YouTubing, Googling, just like um, you know, for like again, being a theater actress to film, like it was a lot of like what small things can I do to show that I was a addict versus when you're on stage, you have the surroundings. You know what I'm saying? You have your castmates allowing like kind of telling the audience the story. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of like little things that I had to like learn, like my gaze, not keeping my gaze like straight on Lamar, or like body language being a little bit more like relaxed. Like I remember kind of putting my weight on him, you know what I'm saying? Anger in the voice. So it was a lot of like just micro studying people, and again, to the point, kind of bring it into self and how I would be, you know what I'm saying? I had to choose what kind of addiction, you know what I'm saying? Like I created this whole story in my head, like what was my addiction? Was it drugs? Was it alcohol? What kind of drug? You know what I'm saying? So it was pretty cool creating that story in my head first, and then memorizing the lines and working with the lines.
I heard it here first, guys. Keep that in mind when you tune in to see Breakpoint tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube. It's going to be a live event.
Yeah, so YouTube live. So yeah, subscribe, y'all. Go subscribe to our YouTube channel. You know. But y'all got a show, don't y'all? Y'all got a little chit chat.
The way you just slid that in there. Yes, I'll let Jen talk about it because she's the guest.
Chit chat. Chit chat was born while I was performing at a show. Shout out to Melissa Myers. They were at Atlantic City that weekend.
What show do you do in Atlantic City though?
So right now I'm touring with Motown Forever. But when they went, it was Motor City Live. So it was a different show. And I remember coming back and they're like, yo, we have this idea. It's going to be this chit chat. I'm like, yeah, sure. When it comes to Katie, I'm like, yeah, I'm down. I'm not listening. I'm saying yes to anything she says. I know it's going to be good. And then I remember having the text messages. Remember, and I was like, the day before, I was like, so what are we doing? I had no idea. I just signed up for it. It's probably the best thing that I signed up for that I had no idea about. And I had to remind them, I was like, guys, I wasn't there for that conversation. And they're like, oh yeah, they were a little lit. Like they were like playing the slots and they were getting free drinks. And they thought I was part of the conversation the whole time, but I wasn't. I was not in the room.
First of all, Jen will always say yes. And I'll be like, Jen, I'm thinking about She'll be like, yeah, let's do it. And I'll look at her and know she don't hear nothing I'm saying. She's just like, yeah, I'm down. So like,
podcast, yeah, sure.
So when it's time to come to set, she's like, what's happening now again? I'm like, oh my God. But I guess it's good. It's a good thing. It's a good thing because I didn't already got her ass in the room, so it's fine. But you know, what's interesting is that Jared is also a part of Chit Chat. Jared is our director of photography. He's, you know, acting like, oh, don't you guys have a show?
I mean, I do what I can, but y'all on there talking about real shit. Y'all on there. I just point the camera at y'all. Y'all do your thing. But this next episode, when does the next episode come out?
The next episode of Chit Chat, actually, I had to wait till I got a new hard drive because I had no more space with all the stuff that I'm doing. So I just got my hard drive today. That means it will be up by the end of the week. I won't say what day, but you can look for it. you could it's going to be on Jen's page or my page or Melissa Myers' page, Chit Chat with My Girls. It's basically a group of girls, 30 and 40 something years old, and we get together and we drink wine and we talk about the shit, like real life shit. So
Yeah, but this next episode is something special. So y'all don't want to miss this the next one.
I'm still recovering from that episode, by the way.
I watched it last night.
Yeah, that episode was kind of wild.
I was just crying, laughing last night. Just leaned over like this, like, yo, this episode. Go ahead and follow 3 Grannies on the Go on Instagram. And that will give you a little insights of what we're talking about. And you're not going to want to miss the next episode. But yes, find them on YouTube. Chit Chat with My Girls.
Yep. So, Jen.
Yes.
We talk about, minorities and working in Hollywood and all of that on this show a lot. What are your feelings about Latino stories, and is there anything that you would like to see more of in Hollywood or just in movies, TV shows?
Yes. One thing that I've always been upset about is, and me personally, being an Afro-Latin woman. I have both, I'm a Black Afro woman, Afro-Latina, Black woman, basically. That whole Afro-Latina title is just weird to me. But anyways, I've never played a Latin role. Never been cast for one.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Guess I'm just too Black to play a Black.
That's not even supposed to be funny, but it's funny.
It's very interesting.
I'll get Motown before I get In the Heights. You know what I'm saying? So it's always been this bittersweet, you know what I'm saying? Like all the beauty campaigns I've gotten, like international, national, have been looking for a Black woman. It's never been looking for a Latin woman or looking for a Hispanic woman. So at times, like I didn't want to say I feel guilty sometimes because I'm like, yo, like y'all just removing this part of me,
Yeah.
I would never forget the first time I auditioned for a Dominican role. I was cast for a Black woman, and the Dominican role was cast with a woman from Argentina, white girl.
So she was not Dominican, like
right. And for Hispanics and Latinos, Argentinian accents is so different from Dominican slang. Like Dominicans speak so differently. And I remember I did accept the role, and I remember being so upset during rehearsals because this girl had no idea, you know what I'm saying, of the Dominican culture or the slang or the body movements or even just the stories. So it's something that's always bothered me, you know what I'm saying? Like I have auditioned for In the Heights. I have auditioned for all these Afro-Latin based stories, but it could be that I'm just not what they're looking for, but it just saddens me that I get cast for Black roles so much quicker. I've never been able to use my Spanish in any like roles that I've been given. So it's a little disappointing that I haven't been able to really live that part of who I am.
Wow, that's crazy.
God. Yeah, first of all, she wasn't the prepared actor, because if she knew that she wasn't Dominican, she should have researched, studied all of that before she even did the audition. So that's annoying, and I don't like actors like that. But she's probably been cast just over her looks for a really long time. Two, I ain't even gonna hold you. I ain't watched In the Heights because they didn't cast you. I was like, I'm straight.
I don't want to take off of the production and the greatness behind the story.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to also remember it was COVID and they had to use the resources they had. Casting was probably limited. But I remember having this conversation at a barbecue I went to, and I was like, yo, none of my friends or I heard about this In the Heights movie. We didn't hear about casting. We didn't hear about, and when I tell you, like, I'm all up on backstage, I'm all up on actors' access, I'm all up in the sauce. I didn't hear not one peep. And I have auditioned for the actual musicals on tour, like, and this is no beef towards Lynn. Like, he's amazing. But it's just more so on my beef is with casting directors. Like, I am the Heights. I was born in the Heights. You know what I'm saying? So when I watch the kind of people that are getting these roles, it's like, yo, like, there's so many people out there that can tell the same story. You know what I'm saying? Um, that's a show that I have on my list, and I'm gonna get in there. And when I get in there, I'm gonna play the hell out of this role. But it's just it's one of those things I haven't been able to check off, playing an Afro Latino or Hispanic role. Not yet, in my 31 years of age.
Yo, I got you, sis. Don't even worry about all that. I got you. Okay.
Right. Because who we playing in Boxer?
Right. That's a good little segue you did there.
Right. You like that?
Powell's not a Latin name, so I guess I'm playing a Black woman again.
I mean,
I like to think she's a mixed girl. I think she's a mixed girl.
Her name is Powell Diaz. Like,
she's a mixed girl.
She's mixed.
Yeah.
I'm a mixed girl, so I
yeah, she's you.
I appreciate that so much, because it's something that I've never experienced that. So it's pretty dope to have finally a mixed character.
Y'all gonna see a little bit of that Spanish you're talking about on the next episode of Chit Chat with My Girl. Yo, I'm just gonna put that out there because woo, but yeah, okay. So
right, let's go, Marilyn. Hey. Right,
Marilyn.
Oh shit. Right, yeah. No, you know who I get confused with? What you call his name? I don't know if it's
Esther Etheljean.
Esther, Ethel, Emlyn. I don't know.
Not Emily. You know what? Good night. Anyway, Genesis, tell us about your character Powell in the feature film Boxer.
Powell plays Kojax, because I never know which name to give. Right? And
the whole cast be like,
in that part of the story, what is she?
She is she's actually Kobe in that part.
Kobe, okay. Yeah. So I play Kobe's best friend. And what I love about this role is that from the other films I've seen, it's always very one-sided friendships when it comes to like Black women, women of color. It's always like yes, sis, you got this. I got your back. Yes, sis. But with Powell and Kobe is like, it shows the other side, you know what I'm saying? The realness, hey, it's okay to have conflicts between friendships. It's okay to have differences. It's okay to have miscommunications. It's okay to have communication issues. And it was a role that it was challenging for me because naturally, as Katie's best friend, I want to make sure that I deliver and make her proud. But it was kind of easy for me to play that role because being a friend is it is a job, and it's a journey. It's something you learn. Like you're not ooh, Kiwi.
Ooh, Kiwi.
What's good, Kiwi?
She wanted to be on the show. That's all. It's fine.
Right. Kiwi on a little cameo.
Yo, first of all, I ain't never heard Kiwi bark a day in my life. So apparently she is stressed or bothered.
No, so she barks whenever Kareem comes. Like it's like, go open the door. That's yeah. She's like, go open the door now.
She's favorite.
So Powell, so we aren't born with the skills of being a friend or being a sister or being a daughter. It's something that you learn. And the first thing you learn is how to be a daughter, how to be a sister if you have siblings, or a brother. Friendships come along with life. You know, type of friend you were in elementary school and high school is very different from college and adult life. So it was easy because I'm in a place in my life now where I'm like really learning how to be a friend and how to be a sister, you know. And being a sister is being able to tell your friend, hey, you need to get help, or you need to do better, be better. Hey, what you did was wrong. You know what I'm saying? So it was a very relatable role in it. I'm excited. Like I'm really excited to see, people's reactions to this because it's people don't really speak about, our type of relationships, our type of friendships.
Yeah.
They think that we're always like, yes, black girl magic. Ah! And like, nah, like sometimes we're like, Katie, what's wrong with you? Relax. You know what I'm saying? Or Jen, you doing too much.
Oh, you're not talking to me
that's what I
today?
admire.
Cool. I check on you tomorrow.
You know how many times I've done it with Katie where she's like mad at me and I'm like, hey, Katie, oh, you're not talking to me? Okay, I'll try again tomorrow. And the next day I'm like, hey, good morning. Oh, you're still not talking to me? I'll try again tomorrow. And I'll do this until she talks to me. And people don't
Yeah.
talk about that. They just think that we're like,
Everything is
no.
no, it's not. It's not. But yeah.
That's what I admire about Kobe and Powell's relationship in the film, because they do, Powell does kind of allude to like, all right, you got to take care of your mental health. You got to go take care of this. So, I'm glad that y'all are able to both in the film and in real life, actually tackle and address those issues. But Genesis, how important is mental health to you personally?
It I just want to say the word COVID, pandemic. It's a lot of, hey, are you okay? I think the world has went through something that we haven't experienced in our entire lifetime. And this is something that we weren't prepared for. We don't have the tools or the resources like within self to make sure that we're good dealing with this. And for me, mental health has the importance has elevated to a whole different level because if we're not okay mentally, how we're able to survive in this world, how we're able to survive within relationships, how we're able to survive within work. Um, it's something that, and I have this conversation all the time. Like there is a lack of resources. Like we could tell our friends. I could tell you, Jared, you should see a therapist. You should see someone. I don't think you're okay. And one of your questions may be, hey, where do I start? How do I find one? Because that's been my question. There's been times where I'm like, there was a time where I was like, yo, I don't know how to find a therapist. I don't know how to find someone to speak to. You do a Google search and it's like, well, what if I want a Black woman as a therapist? Where do I find her? What if I want a Black man? Or, you know what I'm saying? So the importance has elevated because people are so easy to say, yeah, the resources are there, but it's like we don't know where to start. What if I don't have insurance? So, and within that's a process, and within that process, whatever you are going through is still not being fixed. You know what I'm saying? So how can we expedite that process into speaking to someone? And that's something that I haven't seen any improvement on that, basically.
I agree.
Yeah, it's not widely a lot of like I think what you're saying is the resources aren't widely known. Like I know there's open path, right? There's open path just for anybody who is listening to this and want to know some resources. Open path, they do affordable therapy. I think there's therapyforblackmen.com. There's even therapy for Black girls, right?
Yep.
I've never heard of those things. You know what I'm saying? So it's pumping it out there because people are going through some shit. Like,
yeah.
like we just came out of lockdown. Like
every day. Yep. I absolutely. And because we just came out of lockdown, even though I feel like it's too soon. What do you do to practice self-care? Like, how are you taking care of yourself these days as far as your mental?
honestly, I really try to do things that I love and be around people that I love. I think for the first time in my life, I actually like, and Katie, like, like, I'll be like, hey girl, what you doing? Like, it might be once in a blue moon and I'll be like, yo, what you doing? Like, let me link up with you. But I like sometimes it's like the simple of getting in a room with someone that you just need to feel that love from. You know what I'm saying? So I try to get out. I try to do things that I love. Um, go on walks, um, listen to music, talk to people. Um, we had a conversation not so long ago about how we don't reach out to our friends when we need help because we're so scared of like dumping on them. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, how can we know if we can't assume that is not going to be ready to receive our dumping. You know what I'm saying? Like, why not just let your friend know what you're going through versus like just keeping it to yourself because you feel bad. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Like, I'm sure if I hit up Katie tomorrow, like, yo, I need to dump some stuff on you, she's not gonna be like, oh, girl, I can't deal with it right now. She's gonna be like, yeah, sure. But we're so stuck in our heads of like trying to be like over careful and like be like considerate that we put ourselves in harm. You know what I'm saying? By the time you do speak out, it's like months later, and you're like, why didn't you tell me? So
That's I'll admit that's happened to me before. When I was kind of in a very vulnerable place, and I went to a friend and to talk about it, and I was told, look, I can't take you on right now. And though I understand what that is, the fact that it was happening in a time of need for me kind of traumatized me. So I think that's why I struggle so hard with picking up the phone and be like, yo, can I talk to you? Or you got 10 minutes. And now it's like I'm more mindful. It forces me to be like, hey, Jen, do you have 10 minutes so I can like just get this shit out? So I guess that's the silver lining of it. But yeah, I don't know, man. This shit is just hard. It's just hard across the board. So, but yeah, I totally get that. I think that's a good thing. That's great self-care. That's great self-care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as a performer, can you share what the most important thing you've learned, throughout your journey in theater and film and everything that you've done?
One of the biggest lessons and honors that I've learned is through performing, you're performing emotions, you're performing memories, you are invoking emotions into people, you're pouring self into someone else. And it's so important to be very secure of who you are and the gift that you're giving out because you're pouring that into someone else's vessel, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Which has, because I always think of that, and because of that, it allows me to always do things with love. You know what I'm saying? If I'm performing, I want to make sure I'm doing it for love, through love, so that someone can feel that love. You know what I'm saying? That has been one of the biggest lessons and has changed my life completely on how I live and perform. That's one. Two, I don't take it for granted.
Mm-hmm.
I think being creators is one, like I said in the beginning of this, is one of the biggest gifts that God could give us. And I don't take it for granted. And this might be morbid, but like it's one of those things where like whenever I get off stage or whenever I finish filming something, right after I give gratitude. I'm like, you know what? If today's my last day, I'll be good. I'll be very happy because I was able to give a piece of me to whoever's watching this. So it's a very like giving talent. It's a very giving gift.
Yeah. That energy that you give, those lessons that you give, that reflection that you give, that lives on. You don't know how far that's going to go. You give it to one person, they give it to the next person, and the next and the next and the next. So I get what you're saying when you're like, okay, this is my last day, I'm good, because what I did is just going to live on.
Yeah, I gave all that I have, and it's literally every single time I'm living this craft, living what I love. I give all that I have because I just don't take it for granted.
Yeah.
It's a very vulnerable and very intimate craft. I'm sure whenever Katie, you write something, it's something from deep. You know what I'm saying? So when you put it out there, it's like, listen, this, I just gave you all that I have. Like, this is me. You know what I'm saying?
That's it. Once I give it to the public, that's it. Like, there's nothing else I can do with it. Like, it's yours now.
Right.
So
You can't take it back.
right. I absolutely can relate to that. I feel like every week that we do this, Jared, I'm like, what we gonna get? What we gonna get from our guests? What we gonna get? And I feel like we can easily sit here and talk to you, Genesis, for another 45 minutes. But what I like about so far, what's this, episode 4? Every episode that we've done with Stephen Cofield, Austin Kite, Alexis Braxton, they've all been so wonderful in y'all own right. Like, it really gives the people a sense of who y'all really are outside of Boxer. So Genesis, I just want to thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
To Boxer the Movie podcast. And Jared, do you want Jen to sign a dollar bill for you or something and say break point or what?
I mean, matter of fact, yeah, I'll bring it at the next the next chit chat shoot. I'll bring that. That's for you. Listen. Matter of fact, if you could print me out a script though, Katie, like I don't know if you still got that. I know you keep. Yeah, why not? I know you keep. Script? I said print it out.
For what? Oh, so she can sign it?
Yes.
God, I just have to say, Jared is the best person to be around when you're feeling like a little lit. Jared.
Oh, wait.
No, I'm not gonna go into details, but I just want to say, Jared, like you have like one of the best smiles. Like it's like
thank you.
Fulfilling. Like no, I'm serious. Like it's all about surrounding yourself with people who bring light. And Jared, like you're one of those. Like I don't know much about you, but every time I see you, it's like, I know this guy smells like in kindergarten. You know what I'm saying? So thank you so much for always being like the happy, always down for anything. Just I've never seen you in a negative space, and I think it's pretty.
Oh, thank you, Jen. That means a lot. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Look at Katie.
I'm gonna just let him rock. I'm gonna let him rock on this moment right now. I'll wait till you leave to talk my shit, so it's fine.
Oh boy.
No, I'm not.
Let's let her leave on a good note.
All right,
on a high note. Thank you, Genesis.
Genesis,
I appreciate you. We appreciate you coming through.
Thank you so much for having me, guys. It's such a pleasure to be part of Boxer. And listen, y'all, like I'm excited to be at all these like festivals and because it's gonna happen. We're gonna manifest it. We're gonna get all this monies, and we're gonna
let's go.
Because we are all passionate about this, and that's the special thing about this.
Yes. This has been another amazing episode. Special shout out goes out to our guest Genesis for coming through today. Miss Katie Mack, you got any thoughts? Any final thoughts for everybody?
Listen, Genesis is my best friend. There's no wrong that I could ever say about her. I always love having her on everything I do because she is just like that light that sometimes a lot of people really can benefit from. So I just thought it was an amazing episode. I love you, Genesis, and we can't wait to get you back in the building. Yeah.
Yes, like I said. So, Boxer the Movie podcast is produced by Shakisha Williams, Katie Mack, and me, Jared Solomon. Not with the dab. Come on, baby.
Leave my dab alone.
Listen, y'all can follow us on social media. We're at Boxer_film on Instagram and Twitter. And we'll be back next week with a brand new episode. No dabs, but a brand new episode. But y'all, in the meantime, make sure you visit our website, boxerthemovie.com, to donate to our crowdfunding campaign. And please don't forget to subscribe to get the latest updates. Subscribe to our email list and also subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss anything.
Yes, sir.
Again, that's boxerthemovie.com for all things Boxer feature film. Until next time, y'all.
Next time. Peace out. And hair greaves, because you need that. Sorry. No.
All right. Cut the tape. Cut the tape.
All right.